The president continues his tour of the Middle East today. Barack Obama is in the West Bank, where he met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. In the news conference following the meeting, Obama said he supports a two-state solution. He also hammered home that the U.S. does not support Israel's resettlement plan.
We do not consider continued settlement activity to be constructive, to be appropriate, to be something that can advance the cause of peace.
For more on today's meeting, CBC's Middle East correspondent Sasha Petrusik joins me live from Jerusalem. Any surprises to come out of this meeting, Sasha?
Well, Johanna, I guess one of the things you could consider a surprise is that Barack Obama seemed to use the Canada-U.S. model as something to aspire to for Israel and the Palestinians, saying, look at Canada and the U.S., we managed to solve our problems without firing rockets or doing some of these other things that go on. So that was a bit of a surprise. Other than that, though, I guess for me, the fact that he seemed relatively positive, that he was emphasizing some things. Clearly, there are huge hurdles, and he called everything very difficult, but he was emphasizing things that seemed to be doable. The White House has really downplayed any expectation for any kind of an advance, so any kind of optimism in this case seems to be a little bit overplayed, or seemed to be emphasized in a way that maybe wasn't expected. So, he did come forward with many criticisms of the things that are hurdles, including the settlements from Israel. But overall, when he looked at it, I thought he was quite positive. For instance, there was this comment that he made about the potential for some kind of a deal.
If we can get direct negotiations started again, I believe that the shape of a potential deal is there. And if both sides can make that leap together, then not only do I believe that the Israeli people and the Palestinian people would ultimately support it in huge numbers, but I also think the world and the region would cheer.
A lot of ifs in there because there aren't any actual plans, Sasha, as you know, to restart negotiations. So what can Obama hope to accomplish in the West Bank?
Well, in terms of his visit today, in terms of peace, nothing at all. And I don't think he's expected to walk away from there with any kind of a commitment that things will move forward. In fact, the one big stumbling block for negotiations starting is for the Palestinians to accept that Israel could continue building settlements, as it has been doing all the way through, while the negotiators are at the negotiating table. This is considered an affront in the Palestinian circle. And it's something that they have refused to accept, to go to the negotiating table while the Israelis are doing this. There was no sign today that they are willing to back down on this, even though Barack Obama himself said, listen, you have to put some of these things aside and deal with them in the negotiations instead of coming to the negotiating table, assuming that so many of these things will already be resolved. So he's pushing, and his Secretary of State, John Kerry, will be back in the region within the next few weeks and months, trying to make something out of this, trying to build on whatever it is that Obama managed to get from the two sides. But it's pretty slim, and Obama conceded last night in his talks with Netanyahu, this is very hard.